Obviously, Donald Trump, though, does have a reputation of not being so neighborly when it comes to Canada, as we've seen it over the past few years. So if they do decide not to be neighborly and open the border, can you guarantee now that Canada will not open our border to Americans until it is absolutely safe to do so?
I can guarantee one thing, and I can offer some information. What I can guarantee is decisions about Canada's border are taken by Canadians, full stop. And when it comes to easing border restrictions of all kinds, our government will only do that when it is appropriate and when it is not a risk to the health and safety of Canadians. When it comes to our discussions and our relationship with the United States during the coronavirus pandemic, and specifically with regard to the border, the relationship has been extremely friendly, extremely neighborly, and extremely effective. We put in place restrictions on non-essential travel at the border in a reciprocal and coordinated way, and those restrictions are working. We have a huge decrease in travel across the border. At the same time, essential travel and essential trade in food, in medical supplies continues. So the relationship, in fact, is working really, really well. And we are going to keep on working hard to ensure that that continues to be the case. We received, as the Prime Minister said, we received late last night a formal request from the province of Quebec for direct aid from the Government of Canada and from the Canadian Armed Forces. We are looking urgently at that and are looking urgently to see what the Government of Canada, what the Canadian Armed Forces, what the Canadian Red Cross can do to help. We agree that this is an absolutely urgent situation. In terms of the precise tasks that Government of Canada personnel could do and the precise numbers, that is something which is being discussed even as we speak. There will be a First Minister's call later today with the Prime Minister and all of the premiers. I will join the Prime Minister on that call and support him. I want to emphasize, as Jean-Yves has already said, we are fully seized of the urgency here. We are working very hard to support the province of Quebec, as is the federal government's job. We don't have details to offer at this moment on personnel or tasks because those need to be worked out, but they are being worked out right now.
I'm wondering if your intelligence officers provided you with a Canadian-produced assessment of the coronavirus threat at that incident response group meeting in late January. And if so, what were their conclusions at the time?
Laura, I am not at liberty to go into any details of intelligence shared with me and the government and other ministers. But what I can say is that Canadian intelligence analysts and officials are following and have been following from the outset the coronavirus pandemic. This is currently the biggest threat that Canada faces, and it is absolutely appropriate for our intelligence officials and analysts to be following it closely. And that intelligence is shared with the government, with key ministers, and it absolutely has and continues to inform our response.